So I'm going to ask you lovely ladies, one at a time, to introduce yourselves in like a minute and a half.
Okay, sorry I'm late, my battery flared, so I was trying to sort that out. I'm Laurelle. I am an independent trainer, facilitator and consultant in the field of youth violence, sexual exploitation, corporate parenting, children in care. I also am a director of a property investment and management company, and from next week I'll be working at City Hall on the Mayor's violence reduction programme for London, so that's me.
Listen, that was a minute and 22, you've got 6, 8 minutes.
So yeah, I've worked in the sector for the past 18 years with children, young people, families. I've worked in local authorities, education, with the National Crime Agency, the Met Police, with various different parliamentary groups on different things. So I guess the theme today around youth violence is kind of my expertise, for want of a better phrase, but I'm also about economic empowerment of black community, which is why my cousin and I started our property investment company, which the goal, the aspiration is to kind of really focus on the black community. A lot of people have savings that they don't know can actually multiply without them doing any work, and have properties that they don't that they pay for people to manage that aren't living in their community but aren't giving them the best return. So that's why we set up the Near Property Solutions. Find us on google.co.uk. And so yeah, we're all about empowering the black community, especially when it comes to better use of your money and creating a future for yourself and your children, which is part of the reason why so many of them are pulled into situations because of deprivation and just a lack of a future and hope, really.
Laurelle, can we give Laurelle a massive round of applause? By the way, if we're going to clap, can we clap properly? Because this halfway, actually, you know. Okay, thank you very much, Laurelle. So who do we have on bottom line?
I'm Yvonne, Abba-Opoku. I'm director of Heartfelt Philanthropy Network, which I set up a year ago. But my journey started not far from here in Broadwater Farm, where my best mate lived when I moved from Ghana to the UK as a young person. And Broadwater Farm is what pushed me to want to achieve more in life. Over the last 10 years and more, I have been governance advisor to a number of companies linked to members of the royal family, including Prince Charles, William and Harry. Most decisions are not taken unless they've spoken to me about how regulatory and legal compliance issues should be adhered to. However, I was given that task when I first doing work for the Prince of Wales to manage his reputation from a charitable point of view. Did it so well, I was then asked to look at managing his charitable fund. And then as I was managing the charitable fund, giving grants out to charities, I realized that there are a lot of charities from our community who are very good at doing what they do, but don't know how to write the applications and don't know how to write the reports. So I set up the network, working initially with the MG UK Foundation and Google Foundation, who I got them some funding recently, and really to build that capability, because there is a lot of money in our community. I see a lot of money in my day job, like people giving donations because it is the Prince of Wales' charitable fund. And I'm thinking, you're from Ghana, why aren't you giving that money to your own community? Because there are a lot of young people who could do with that money, even if it's parenting workshops for parents, to raise their young people, or giving young people opportunities. So I set up the network along with my friend from Trinidad and Tobago to actually start helping. I still do a lot of work for the Prince, so I do what I can in the community. But I'm so pleased to be here today because youth violence is an issue that keeps me awake at night. And I'm so pleased to have seen the career session earlier and also the panel sessions that we've had before. Everyone has had a story. But I want to tell the young people here today, and I apologize, I may be exceeding your 1 minute.
No, it's fine, I'll take it away later.
I want to tell the young people here today that when I was a young person, having moved from Ghana here as a young person, I looked for opportunities like this, and I couldn't find any. I spent a lot of time in Broadwater Farm because my best mate's mum lived there, and my house was very cold, and their house was very warm, so I spent a lot of time there. But then that made me realize that I wanted a bit more than that. So I will be the first person in my family to own a property in the UK, and I've achieved that. And I want to say that you have to let your environment push you to want to achieve more. When I was asked to go and work for the Prince of Wales, I didn't know who lived at Clarence's house. I rocked up and saw their photograph, and I thought, oh, because I didn't go to that side of town, I do my stuff in North London. So this is a really good opportunity, and I really want to thank the Ghana Youth Day Committee and the Ghana High Commission for putting this on. Young people here, you need to grab this opportunity with both hands. Because I wanted to do free work when I was a young person, and nobody would even give me a chance to come and even make the teas and coffee, so I could eavesdrop on the conversations in the boardroom. But I'm so grateful to my dad. My dad is here today, and the people around me who believed in me and gave me a chance. That now I go to the boardroom and I sit there as being in the minority in the boardroom. And I'm glad that today I'm not actually in the minority here, and this is why this is so important for us. Thank you.
Massive round of applause. I just want to add in just say thank you, because I think, was it last year, I was also invited to go and see Prince Charles, some boy from Hackney. Thank you, Yvonne, for connecting the wires. So you need to know people, do you know what I mean? Sorry, so next, please, you can please introduce yourselves.
Hi everybody, my name is Betty Acquah. I'm the founder of Zoe's Foundation. My aim is to empower women and young ladies and young men over here in Ghana through performing arts, music, and creative arts, really. So I came on as about 13 years old. I've heard everybody's story. I didn't fit in that kind of story. I was just a little sheep that rebelled in so many different ways with a lot of anger. And growing up with a mom and other siblings I didn't know was a bit of a heavy, hectic for me in a household of London. Didn't know who my father was, but as I got older and wiser, I'm not going to make it too long, became a mother of 3, my oldest daughter is over 21. I realized that as a mother, my children needed to hear my story, and my story was not being told properly. And I learned one thing: what people thought about me was none of my business. What I thought about myself is my business. And I realized I have no limits, but I have limited myself to something that's got nothing to do with me. Because people said I don't fit in, I'm not the right person, I'm not supposed to be here. This little girl that no daddy, no whatever. But I made him realize, father or no father, mother or no mother, I stood up on one band, and I'll make that band louder. So I did one thing. I took a pen and a paper, and I made it my best friend. My first play I ever wrote was The Mystical Child and the African Child, where the little white lady was about 19, was abandoned and believing nobody wanted her, so she cut herself every single time, self-abuse. And the little African child sitting among people, not saying very much. But I realized my abuse and everything was my story I had to tell. When I stood up and I performed it for the first time in Clean Break, the lady came and said, wow, you don't talk, but now you're smiling. And the smile told the story. I had no fear, but I realized I've allowed people to make me afraid. And there's nothing to be afraid of. It doesn't matter. Just don't use anger to choose the wrong things. Use anger to create self. Who you are, nobody else can tell your story but you. Believe in yourself. I know it's not easy.
And a question I have is, as a generation, now raising our children, sometimes the things that we went through are not the things that our children have gone through, purely because we've worked so hard for them not to have to go through what we've gone through. How do we inspire a hunger in our children, in the younger generation, that hunger and determination that we have, maybe because of lack, because of situations that we've been through? Maybe they haven't been through those, or it's not in the same way. How do we inspire that hunger in this generation?
Is any, do you want to, yeah? Everyone, do you want to go back? Okay.
Thank you very much. I'm glad we've got a parent asking this question. I have a stepson who's 18, and I have a child of my own who's 8. My stepson was born in France, lives here with us occasionally, and my youngest was born here. Now, they haven't suffered anything that I've had to go through. They haven't had to leave Ghana and come over here to live with their aunties, whilst, their mum and dad lived in, by the way, my dad and my mum lived in Amsterdam when I was growing up here as a young person. They haven't had to stay in a box room and pay £40 a week to Antia and work to pay for that. But I tell them those stories for them to appreciate it. Now, when I'm able to take them to the Royal Albert Hall and they sit in the Royal Box and they watch an opera, which I've never been to an opera but I want to give them those experiences. And that gives them a taste of what you can do on your own. I also take them back home. And when we go home to Ghana, the holiday is not just about lying on the beach. We go out with, for example, NG UK Foundation. We go and help street kids. I let them see another world, and have a desire to want to do well and also be able to help other people. And I let them work for whatever they get, honestly. They do chores at home. They earn 50p, for cleaning the dust in the television. It's just instilling that sense that, you have to work, for what you have. Even if your parents can afford it. My youngest is 8, wouldn't want to swim at the local leisure center. So I signed him up at David Lloyd's. It's costing me an arm and a leg. But he thinks, oh, mommy, this is so posh. Everyone's got a Nintendo Switch. I want one. I said, darling, it's £300. You have to work a lot of hours to be able to afford that Nintendo Switch. But it's just creating that hunger to want that and giving them experiences, which will also show them that, look, these are experiences out there for us. And we may not have had that experiences, when we were growing up. But we need to make it a priority and give them experiences so that they want more. But how do you get more? You need to work hard. You need to earn it. And I hope, because having a child doesn't come with a manual, but you do what you can. And I hope that what I'm doing personally will help my children to understand that you have to work for things. The 18-year-old, when he turned 18, he said he wanted a car. I said, you need to get a job. So he got a job at, not McDonald's, KFC in France. He rang me and said, I've got a job. And I said, great, save some money and we'll get you some driving lessons. We can pay for it, but I want to teach him to work. If he comes to me and says, this is 200 euros and I need 300 euros more, I'd be willing to help because he's understood the principle of working what you have.
What would you say?
I guess this is more for the young people. There are a lot of things that I didn't know that black people have done, can do, until I got to an older age where I started to research it and I started to meet black people who are pilots or black people who have achieved a lot of incredible things. So if you don't have necessarily the family or the parents around you, I bet you have the internet, I bet you have social media. Challenge yourself to look up new things, events where you can see things that might not necessarily be around you, because I definitely agree what you see, you can believe. So challenge yourself to seek out new knowledge, to seek out new people, seek out new events, and I think the sky becomes a bigger limit for you.
Thank you very much. Wow, 29 seconds. Next, please.
Thank you. What I would say is believe in yourself. That's to the young person. Parents, build your child's confidence. Let them believe that they can even fly without any wings. Because with confidence, you can achieve a lot. I haven't got much time to tell you my story, but my first knockback, I was told I failed an exam for a job, which I thought was really beneath me. And I told the lady that I'm too intelligent to fail that test. She remarked it and said, I'm sorry, you're through to the next stage. So have confidence in yourself, acquire knowledge, and I'm not saying read. I'm saying acquire knowledge, because sometimes the acquisition of knowledge is not just reading stuff. It's actually listening to other people, hanging around them. Because when you've acquired that knowledge, people come to you not because of the color of your skin. It's because of the knowledge that's deposited inside of you. I said it earlier, people don't make decisions in the palace without picking up the phone, because they know Yvonne is a sound person who will give good advice and will not get them into trouble. So acquire knowledge. You have something that no one else has.
Thank you very much, Yvonne. Thank you. Next, please. Thank you, Betty. 30 seconds.
I've got one thing to say. How you perform in this stage in your life gives you your merits. What if and how? The cause and effect. What you do will affect you for the rest of your life. The decisions you make, so it's choices. If you get nothing out of this place today, choices. Choose to put the gun down. Choose to put the knife down. Choose to pick up a pen. Choose to think before you act. And parents, our mistakes are our children's mistakes. So let them be as they are. And if they make a mistake, it's all right to just hold them and say, you made a mistake. You fall down, you get up. Brush yourself and keep going.